Bienvenidos a la Maria podcast, the podcast where I don't know what I'm doing, but it's okay, we'll figure it out together. Yo soy la Maria, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, so we're on to episode 3. I didn't think I would get this far, but hey, episode 3. And I'm gonna start off with this week's meme. And the girl on the it's really hard to explain memes, so if you wanna look at the actual meme that I'm referring to, just go to the Instagram at La Maria Podcast. So I'm gonna be posting the memes on Instagram. So if you want to look at them, they're there. But I think this girl on the meme is from TikTok. I think she made a video saying that someone told her she looks like the yellow M&M. But okay. Okay, the meme says 2 kg of fat and her face is like gross. 2 kg of fat with a nipple on it and her face is like, interesting. And that's going back to the conversation, the BBL conversation from episode 1, how fat itself, nobody wants it, nobody wants fat, but if you put fat in the places where it's socially acceptable, it's a different story. I also saw this other meme. I thought it was pretty interesting. It says, how to protect your house in a zombie apocalypse. And there's a bunch of treadmills around the house. So I guess basically, if the zombies were trying to get you, they would just run forever because the treadmills are there. But obviously, I don't think that would work if they're supposed to be running connected, because electricity, obviously, it's not going to be around if there's an apocalypse, unless you have those Tesla solar panels in your roof, then obviously you will have electricity. But yeah, I'll also post that meme on Instagram if you want to look at it. And there was a study done. I don't know who did this, but it's basically a research that says who the most attractive bald man is. And apparently, Prince William is the most attractive bald man. Who's funding this kind of stuff? I don't know. I think Prince William is the one funding this because he's not even bald. I mean, some people were saying, like, he's not even bald, he still has hair in the sides of his head. And so people are saying, like, oh, the Rock is the sexiest bald man alive because he really has no hair. But I think he's funding this because otherwise, how would he become the sexiest bald man when he's not even bald? But yeah, I think some men are embarrassed, to have no hair. I don't know why bald men like tend to call out that they're bald. Like, yes, we could see it. Even my father included, my dad's bald, and he's always like making fun of him being bald. Anyway, I started thinking about embarrassing things, embarrassing moments for me. Those moments when you wish you could just delete from your head forever, but they don't. They keep coming back to your memory. Well, one of those moments for me was when I was in high school. So I got braces and I had like a metal bridge on my. So I had a metal bridge on the roof of my mouth and I sounded so weird. I didn't sound like myself. And I think I have a way to show you guys kind of what I sounded like. So there's this character on Family Guy. And okay, hopefully you hear it, but I'm gonna play it.
Of course, I'm understandably skeptical of your newfound affection for me.
Okay, so he has braces and he sounds all weird and stuff. And that's how I sounded basically. And I had to give a presentation and people were so rude because at the end of the presentation, oh, do you have questions? First of all, I know damn well they couldn't understand what I was saying because I sounded so weird. But these assholes asked me questions knowing damn well that I couldn't speak. But anyway, That's one of the things I wish I could like delete from my memory. But I basically relive those moments every time I look at my tongue because that metal piece cut my tongue, and tongues basically don't heal. You know, that's why like if somebody cuts their tongue, it doesn't grow back because just tongues don't do that. I don't know the science behind it, but I have a cut in my tongue from that metal thing, and every time I look at it, I'm like, it takes me back to high school in that moment. And it sucks because I, from that presentation I had to give, it turned out that I did the entire project wrong. So I ended up getting a C on it because I did it wrong. I don't know what I did wrong. I mean, the teacher explained it to me after, but I got a C on it. I got embarrassed like that in front of the whole class, and I'm pretty sure people who were there remember it because I sounded so weird. My friend asked me how that stimulus check money was going and if I used it up already, and honestly, yeah, I did. I pretty much used up the money. I guess $1,000 for sure I used already, and I don't feel bad about it, honestly, because the other two checks I used them for things that I actually needed to use them for, and this time I decided to treat myself. It felt really nice to just swipe to insert the card and not look back and worry about, do I have enough money? Because yes, I did. My bank account with that money, I did. But I ended up returning a couple stuff, so I guess I made the money back. But yeah, I can't wait for that to be me all the time, just to insert and never look back and just enjoy what I have. But honestly, life is so expensive. It's so expensive just to live, and it's crazy. And I mean, dying is really expensive too if you think about it, because caskets are so expensive. Like, why why is that business still around? Like, why can't we just get rid of it? Because I think it would be better used for our bodies to decompose in nature like it's supposed to, instead of just keeping it in a box, you know? But what do I know? I don't know shit about shit. Going off of that thing of like, why is everything so expensive? Why is life so expensive? One thing I've noticed is tips. Like, everyone and everything asks for tips. Like, why can't you just make it a part of the price? Okay, like I get it. If somebody delivers something to my house, I'm definitely gonna tip because, it's kind of dangerous to be driving around like that. But I noticed I was getting some noodles and company food, and for pickup, it's asking for a tip. Like, who am I tipping, or what am I tipping? Like, the cooks? Like, I get it if it's the cooks, but I don't know why nobody's writing about this. Like, people who are servers, they live off of tips. In my mind, I honestly thought there was a law that passed that said employers have to pay their employees. But yeah, it's weird to me. Like, what do you mean you don't pay the people? And I always like didn't understand like why there was a big debate of, tip your servers. You have to give them at least 20% tip or whatever money. Like, I didn't understand it until I found out like, yeah, they only get paid like $2 by the company. So like Olive Garden, my sister-in-law I think worked there, and she would only get paid $2 an hour, and the rest was tips. That's so insane. Why aren't people like writing about that? I have no clue. And also, when I go to get my hair done, trimmed or whatever, it also asks for tips there. And I'm like, obviously I do tip because I feel weird. I feel pressured to tip. And obviously, I don't know how their pay works, but yeah, they ask for a tip. When I go get my nails done, they ask for tips too. And yeah, I don't understand why people don't make that part of the price, instead of like doing tips or whatever. Maybe they'd lose money, maybe they'd make more. I honestly don't know the mathematics behind it. But also, I started noticing that there's a lot of people in the corners here in Milwaukee asking for money. And I always question, like, are they really homeless or not? Because, and every time I pass by one, I stare at them because I'm trying to figure out, like, do they really need it or do they not? Like, I understand there's places like Skid Row in Los Angeles where I've talked about Skid Row before, when I talked about Elisa Lam, but like I get they would actually need the money because they can't even function correctly. Like their brain is a little off, so they can't function and they need the money. But here in Milwaukee, I feel like things aren't too bad. Like for example, one time I saw a quote unquote homeless man talking on the phone. Huh? Like you got minutes on your phone? First of all, you have a phone, you're homeless, but you have a phone and you have minutes. Weird. And also, you could get a job literally holding up signs. You could get paid to hold signs for a company. And I did see a man like that. He was, um, I don't know what company it is that has them dress up as the Statue of Liberty, but this man was holding up a sign. It was cold outside, and he had a cane, bro. You're telling me that there's a man who clearly got minutes on his phone because he's talking. He has a touchscreen phone and he's asking for money, saying he's homeless. I don't know, man. Seems a little sketch. Like I said, there are people who really do need it, like those people with Skid Row that live off there. But some people just don't need it. And I do have like skepticism, I guess, when they're asking for money. Like a different time, I was at McDonald's drive-through and there was a man who was basically going to every car asking people to buy him food because he didn't have any money. But listen to this. This man had one of those electric scooters, right? For to get an electric scooter working, you need the app on your phone. So you need a phone, you need the app on your phone, and you need a credit card or debit card. But he's asking for food. Like instead of riding around in the scooter, you could use that money to buy food. I don't know. I don't know anything. But and a different time, there was a man who was saying that he was actually from out of state and like his friends left him. And I asked him, I was like, well, couldn't you? Because he was asking me for money. I was at the drive-through. See, he knew where to go, where the money was. But I was at the drive-through to the ATM drive-through, and I was trying to get some money. I don't even know for what, but that's besides the point. And this man came up to my car and he was like, "Hey, like my friends left me here. Anything helps." And I was like, "All right, anything helps." So I grabbed a bottle of water. Mind you, it was midsummer, June, July. It was so hot outside. And I gave him the water. And this man, with some crusty, dry lips, said to me, "It's too hot for water." What? Oh, I don't know. And I was like, man, get out of here. Like, leave me alone. I don't have money either. I'm just trying to check, how much I got. I don't know. Like I said, I don't remember if I was getting money out or what, but I found that so interesting that he said anything helps. I give him water because I could see his lips were crusty and white. And he said he didn't want it because it was too hot. Crazy. But I mean, I guess that's corporate America and that's America in a nutshell. You have people who have a lot, you have people who don't have a lot. You have people who have a lot who pretend to not have a lot. You have people who don't have a lot and pretend to have a lot. I'm very interested though to see how the economy is going to change, after Corona and after having so many stimulus checks sent. I'm interested to see how everything's going to change. And I don't know, maybe I'll be one of those people in the corner. Hell no, I will never be one of those people in the corner. My family has taught me a lot to not end up there. But anyway, moving on to like a little story of mine. Um, I have never drank before, or like I do obviously take sips of alcohol. I like wine coolers, but I've never gotten blacked out. So, and I'm one of those people that likes to experience things, and if I like it, cool. If I don't like it, you'll never see me do it again. And one of those things is drinking. I've never blacked out, so I decided to rent a hotel room, and I drank until I blacked out. And from my experience with it, I mean, listen, before that, I've never understood why people drink so much. There's, people I know that do it during the week, during the weekend, all the time. They're drinking all the time. I didn't understand that before. And after getting drunk and blacking out, I still don't get why people do that all the time. It's not fun at all. And I'll explain what happened. I ended up getting like 2 packs of the Seagrams, so like wine coolers. And I drank a good chunk of them. And then I didn't get drunk off of that. I think what did it and what helped me black out was that I bought a bottle of 40% proof Smirnoff alcohol. I don't know what it was, but 40% proof. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get that. I think that's gonna get me drunk or help me black out. And I did. So at the beginning, the first like couple of minutes, it wasn't bad. Everything was just so funny. I was laughing a lot. But I don't know when and why a switch happened where I completely don't remember what happened, but what I was told is that I was puking. And if you know from my skydiving, when I explained what happened in my experience skydiving, I puked. And in general, I puke a lot. I'm always puking. I always get car sick. And and when you mix it with alcohol, yeah, I ended up puking a couple times. And I guess one of those times when I was puking, I ended up walking backwards and I slammed my back onto a body mirror. So like, hotels have a body mirror across from the bathroom or like next to the bathroom. I crashed into that. Like my entire body crashed into it. And I didn't remember that. I didn't know that happened until I was told it happened. And my friend said, "Oh my God, girl, you got your back blown out." First of all, that's not how I would have pictured it. If I wanted my back blown out, I would have, and I'm surprised the mirror didn't even break. If it was my entire body that slammed into the mirror, I'm surprised it didn't break. But I'm glad it was fine because otherwise I would have had to pay for it. But from my experience with that, I understand Okay, first of all, I don't understand why people do it. I don't understand why people drink so much. And secondly, I understand how in bad situations alcohol makes things worse. Because like I said, I could barely even remember what happened. I was puking a lot, and basically I couldn't like stand up if I slammed into the mirror. And yeah, like I understand how girls are able to like not give consent during those situations. Alcohol, 0 stars. I do not recommend. Don't do it. And like I said, if you've never gotten drunk and if you've always wondered how you would be or how it would be, definitely do what I did because I didn't want to come home. I still live at home, so like I didn't want to come home and my mom look, to look at me all drunk and wasted because then she'd think I do that all the time. But no, I do not recommend. But I also had like people I trusted, I guess. My friend was supposed to not drink, but she ended up drinking too. I don't know why. She blacked out too. But definitely be in a safe place and with people you know. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do alcohol. It's definitely one of the biggest drugs out here that is legalized. And people are always offering alcohol, like my siblings, my brothers, they do drink alcohol all the time. And they're always offering me, and I have to tell them, like, hey, I don't drink. And now every time I smell alcohol, it takes me back to that time, and I don't want to do it again. Like, just smelling it really makes me want to puke. And I'm glad I did that because, and obviously, when I tell people this, they say, like, oh, you did it wrong. I could show you how to do it correctly, how to do alcohol correctly. And I'm like, no, no, no. See, I don't want to know how to do it correctly because gross, man. First of all, it smells bad. And like I said, I puke a lot. I lost my balance so much, and that's not something you want to those aren't good things to have happen to you. I like being clear-headed. I like being clear-headed. I like knowing what I'm doing, what's happening next, what happened before, and that definitely is something I do not want to live through again. But damn, I can't believe I got through another podcast episode. Holy shit, I did it. Anyway, I'm excited for a new Rick and Morty. It's gonna come out in the summer, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see if anything interesting happens between now and next week. I know it's Easter weekend this weekend, or Easter's happening this weekend, so my entire family's gonna be here. And yeah, follow me. We'll follow the podcast on Instagram and TikTok at La Maria Podcast, and I will see you guys next week.